Why do I have petroleum jelly and pumpkins? Let's talk about it. Everybody knows that once you carve your jack-o'-lanterns, they start to rot really quickly, but there's some things that you can do to make them last longer, supposedly. We're going to see if that's true or not. The biggest thing that causes your jack-o'-lanterns to collapse and start rotting is actually because they lose moisture really quickly once you carve them. So we're going to put petroleum jelly all over the inside, the cap, all the open wounds, and see if they will help retain that moisture longer and last longer on the porch. So 2 of them are going to get petroleum jelly and 2 of them are not. We'll show you the results. So let's get carving. All right. Oh! It's like gutting a chicken.
I've never done that before.
Sometimes the kids' design isn't the easiest, but that kind of looks like what he drew on there. This one's going to be a challenge because I don't have a cool pumpkin carver. I have a knife, and these are curved circle lines. I'll do my best. I think it looks great. Perfect. After a very unsuccessful carving session, and I don't know where my family ran off to, we're not going to do the actual experiment. It smells good. It feels weird. Ah! Why is it covered in grass? Now what do I do? I took most of the grass off. All right, so I guess we just cover all of those cuts with it. This is weird. This feels weird. There's a child watching me. There's 2 children watching me now. This feels highly inappropriate. Let me get down into the orifices. Boy, I hope this works, because this is a lot of work. Done. Okay, so today's Friday. These 2 do not have the petroleum jelly. Those are controls. These 2 have petroleum jelly. So let's see how they look on Monday. And I don't know what to do with my hands. High five? Okay, it's Sunday now, and so I guess we're on day 3. Untreated, treated, and we're starting to see some good difference now. So especially on these mouths. So look at that, wrinkly, kind of lips curling in, versus this is still a crisp, hard line. I just sprayed them off because they were real dirty from squirrels digging above them. So that's why they're wet. But so far, this is working. It's Wednesday now, and we're starting to see a little more dramatic differences. This one starting to cave in and get wrinkly. Untreated, of course, these 2. This one is getting an underbite where the nose area is starting to shrivel in. This one seems to be doing it less. Overall, pretty impressed at how well these are holding up, both treated and untreated. Still look pretty good on day 5 or whatever this is. Okay, so something crazy happened yesterday, and I didn't even film yesterday. So we're on day 7 now, which is Friday, but I gotta explain what happened. There used to be 4 pumpkins here. Now there are 3. There was a treated one here, along with this treated one, and this untreated one, and this untreated one. So yesterday, day 6, both middle pumpkins collapsed, including my treated one here. I was flabbergasted. I was not expecting that to happen, but essentially they lasted the same amount of time, both treated and untreated. And before I got any video evidence, because I got distracted playing with my kids and riding bicycles, I turned around and my wife had picked this one up and chunked it into the forest, because I didn't tell her that I was doing this as an experiment, and she just saw an ugly, mushy pumpkin and got rid of it because she likes to clean things. But I'll tell you that it was every bit as bad as this one, and so it makes me think, like, is there a difference between treated and untreated? Because These results are tripping me out because here we have an untreated one that's still standing, starting to cave in. We have a treated one that looks pretty good, but we had two that just absolutely turned to mush. So I don't know what to think anymore because the other one looked just as bad as this. This one still looks pretty decent now, a week in. The top's not collapsing. But the other one that was here absolutely failed. So I don't know if it's worth it or not to do petroleum jelly on your jack-o'-lantern. I really think this should have been a bigger sample size, like we should have done 10 without and 10 with. But since our sample size was so small, I have to call the experiment inconclusive. Maybe you'll get more time by adding petroleum jelly, but maybe you won't. But once you carve those things, they're just not gonna last long. No matter which way you do it, you're probably only going to get 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 days at the most. Do with this what you will.